Hello and welcome back to somebody on the Football Zone and to a midweek previewing this weekend's Premier League and Championship action, starting off with a big game, the Merseyside derby, Everton versus Liverpool. And this is a really interesting one because Liverpool obviously were struggling against Newcastle, but that crucial late winner, and you really feel like they've got some momentum now. Everton 2 draws in the trot now, 2 solid away draws, so yeah, they're definitely getting better too, so could be quite a hard one to call, but I just think on the day that little bit more quality that Liverpool seem to have at the moment, we'll just about see them through here. I'm going to say 2-0 to Paul. Moving on then to Brentford against Leeds at the Brentford Community Stadium. Brentford, kind of like Everton, picked up 2 decent enough draws, but I think really they would have wanted maybe a bit more from that. Against Leeds, who obviously had a really good start, but seems to have kind of tailed off a bit, just 1 point from the last 2. So yeah, I think both teams here will see this as a game that's kind of there for the taking, really, that they can go out and win. And yeah, it does make it a hard one to call. So yeah, once again, I'm going to go down the line and call it or draw 1-1. Chelsea host West Ham at Stamford Bridge on Saturday in the Premier League. And yeah, this is a big game for both sides because both sides, not getting off the best starts really. West Ham 14th, Chelsea in 10th, and Chelsea already losing around 8 points behind Arsenal already. That could be crucial in the top 4 race maybe come the end of the season. West Ham, recovering after a poor start. So yeah, this is a game which both sides really need to be targeting some points, and it'll be interesting to see which way it goes. I'm saying Chelsea will get the win here. I'll say 2-0. Moving on then to Newcastle as they take on Crystal Palace at St James's Park. And yeah, Newcastle, that defeat to Liverpool in the last time out will be absolutely heartbreaking for them. It'll be interesting to see how they recover from that because they'll need strong mental fortitude to come back from that quickly. Against the Palace side, got a point against Brentford last month, maybe one slightly more. So yeah, it'll be intriguing to see which way this goes, but I think Newcastle will react strongly and I think they'll get the 1-0 win. Moving on then to Forest as they take on Bournemouth at the City Ground. And yeah, Forest, for me, at the moment, it just seems like with the overhaul they've had over the summer, it's just taking them a bit of time, really, for their squad to adapt together. Could be kind of like an ideal time for Bournemouth to play them after they got that point after the shocker last Saturday. So yeah, they'll need something from this one. But yeah, I think Forest will be feeling confident about this one. I'm going to say 2-0. Moving on then to Tottenham as they host Fulham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday in the Premier League. And Tottenham, 1-1 against West Ham. I think really without VAR and all that dodgy business, they could have got the win against West Ham last time out. But Fulham, they've had such impressive starts to the season, and they've had just a brilliant start to the season. It won't be an easy game for Tottenham, but I think they will be feeling confident, especially with it being at home. I think they will have a bit too much for Fulham. I'll say 2-0. Moving on into Wolves, they host Southampton at Molineux, and Wolves, seems to be a bit of a draw special at the moment. Drawn the last 2, 3 of the last 4 in the Premier League. Against the Southampton side, obviously picked up a surprise 2-1 win against Chelsea. And, I think they surprised relatively well. Southampton had a bit of a shaky start, but, in 9th, 7 points on the board, so I think they'll be very happy with that. It won't be an easy game for Wolves, but they need to start picking up some points. I think they might just edge it. It'll be scrappy, but I think this could get them going. 1-0 to Wolves. Moving on then to Villa as they take on Man City in a late game on Saturday. And this kind of just shouts like a City win, and probably a comfortable City win at it, doesn't it? Haaland, I would say form his life, but this is just what we come to expect from Haaland now, isn't it, really? Villa, struggling on questions over Steven Gerrard's future being asked as well now. Not going well for Villa at all, and you'd expect quite a comfortable City win here. Brighton host Leicester, moving on to Sunday's games now at the Amex, and this is another interesting one because Brighton, 2-1 defeat for them last night. It was disappointing, especially after such a good start. Being still in 4th, still a brilliant start, and Leicester, they just look so full at the moment. 1-0 at 1 point so far from 5 games. Pressure surely growing on Brendan Rodgers. Brighton fancy their chance. It's kind of a perfect time to play them with all the chaos going on there at the moment. And I think it will be a Brighton win here. I'm going to say 1-0. Moving on then to United as they host Arsenal at Old Trafford. And this is another interesting one because United 3 wins on the trot now, really starting to improve against Arsenal, the team with a 100% record so far this season, currently sitting top of the table, of course. And it's a hard one to call because United's improving, but Arsenal, this is kind of the first real challenge from the top 6 clubs they come against, so it will be interesting to see how they fare. I think it will be a really close game, this one, and I'm going to go down the middle. I'm going to say 1-1 draw. Moving on into the Championship games then, and starting off on Friday with West Brom taking on Burnley at the Hawthorns, and West Brom, they draw the last two, and you know, they just still haven't really got going yet, have they? 14 the squad they had, I think everyone's a bit more. Burnley, though, third in the table, having a really good start like under Vincent Kompany, won the last 3 in all competitions, unbeaten in 5, so they're on a bit of a roll at the moment, they'll fancy their chances, but West Brom, I think this is a must not lose for them, so I'm going to go down the middle and say 1-1. Moving on then to Saturday's games in the Championship, and Blackburn take on Bristol City at Ewood Park, and yeah, Blackburn, I mean, like, just been inconsistent from them so far, currently sitting in 5th in the table, lots of wins, lots of defeats, I think 4 wins, 3 defeats, against Bristol City, so they've also started well, and got a decent win over Huddersfield last time out, so yeah, it's a game which could go either way, this one you kind of feel like, but Blackburn home advantage, I don't know, I'm going to say draw actually, because both these sides are just hard to predict. Luton take on Wigan at Kenilworth Road on Saturday, and yeah, I mean, like, this is another interesting one, because Luton on a bit of a roll now, shaky start, but they're on a bit of a roll. I'm going to say, yeah, they're coming into this one with good form now, 7 points from the last 9, against the Wigan side, who recovered well from that 5-1 defeat to Burnley, solid draw against West Brom, and yeah, they need to find a bit of consistency themselves, but I think at ground like Kenilworth Road, Luton will have too much for them 2-0. Moving on then to Norwich as they host Coventry at Carrow Road, and yeah, Norwich, I mean, like, it's been, I don't know, it was a great start, poor start to the season, but in the last few games they've really picked it up now, and seems to be on a bit of momentum, won the last 4 in the league, against Coventry side, which is just struggling, obviously got those games in hands, and they only got 1 point from their 4 games so far, so, you know, not been ideal, and this is a tough game for them, they really don't need, so I'm going to say 2-0 to Norwich here. Preston host Birmingham at Deepdale, and yeah, Preston's form so far this season has just been ridiculous. Warwick played 7, scored 2, conceded 0. Probably not the most exciting team in the league to watch, but yeah, just absolutely mental against the Birmingham side in 22nd. He seems to be really struggling at the moment. Really should have got something out of it last game, you feel like, against Norwich. And that's a big blow for them. And Preston will be coming into this one feeling confident. So I'm going to go optimistic here for Preston and say they're going to score 2. But you know, not that many. Moving on into Rotherham as they take on Watford at the New York Stadium. And Rotherham, I mean, like, yeah, it was a great start to the season, but obviously that 3-0 defeat to them last time, I don't know if that will kind of bring them down to life for somewhat, against Watford side, who picked up a 2-1 win against Middlesbrough after struggling for a few games before that, so that's a big win for them, and fires them up into 4th, so, you know, right in the table where they need to be, and I think they'll be feeling confident going into this one as well. I'm going to say 2-0 to Watford. Moving on then to the Den, where Millwall hosts QPR, and yeah, I mean, like, this is another intriguing game really, isn't it, because Millwall host Cardiff, I don't know why I said QPR, because Millwall had lost the last 3, but before that had been on a pretty decent run, but now lied 19th in the table, and Cardiff kind of a similar story, down in 17th as well, so both teams really need a win to get their season going again, really, and yeah, I think it could be a scrappy contest, which could end. I'm going to say 1-1. Moving on into Swansea as they take on QPR at the Liberty Stadium, and yeah, I mean, like, Swansea, they'll come into this one with a season that so far just hasn't really got going. Has 6 points from their 7 games against QPR side, who seems to be getting better and better at the moment. Won the last 2 against 2 very good sides as well, in Watford and Hull. So they'll be coming into this one feeling confidence, you feel. So, you know, it is a hard one to predict, really. But I think Swansea with the home advantage could come in handy. QPR very better at the moment. I'll say draw. Moving on then to Reading as they take on Stoke at the Merseyside Stadium. And yeah, Reading, I mean, like, 3 wins, and then they're going to get beat 4-0, and 4-0 before that winning streak of 3-0. So yeah, you never really know what you can expect from Reading, but looking at their home form so far this season, it has been exemplary. Against the Stoke side, it is kind of struggling a bit at the moment. So yeah, for me, I'm going to say Reading will get the win here. I think it'll be a close one, not much between 2 sides, but I think at home, Reading will get it here, 1-0. Moving on then to Huddersfield as they take on Blackpool at in the John Smith Stadium, and Huddersfield, I mean, like, yeah, it's just not going to plan at the moment, is it? really 1 point from the last 3 games. Against the Blackpool side, who've got 2 points, so it's not going much better. I think both teams will see this as kind of a chance to get off the mark here. And yeah, it is kind of a hard one to call. But on the whole, I'm feeling that Huddersfield will just nick it with home advantage 1-0. Moving on into Hull as they take on Sheffield United at the KCOM Stadium. And yeah, Hull will go into this one. I don't know what they expect, to be honest, because obviously they had their win against Coventry. A Superman looks like next coming of Messi, but they have 2 losses in between that, draw and then a win. So yeah, you don't know what you're going to expect, but Sheffield United are far more confident at the moment. And yeah, I get a feeling this could be a really tight game, high scoring as well. I'll say 2-0, 2-2. Moving on into the final game of the weekend, that's Middlesbrough taking on Sunderland in the Monday Night Football. And yeah, Middlesbrough, thought maybe they'd get their season going after that win against Swansea, but they lost against Watford, so it's still waiting to get going. Sunderland, though, inconsistent at the moment, 2 wins, 2 losses in the last 4 games, but still in 8th in the table compared to Middlesbrough down in 20th. Middlesbrough really need to get the season going, though, so it is a hard one to call this one. But on the whole, I'm going to say it'll be a tight one, but Borough would just edge it out 2-1. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. So like, share, subscribe, don't follow the comments. Visit Twitter and subscribe to the channel, and that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.